Hi Siddharth. How are you doing, bro? Good.
I'm good. How are you, Mithil?
How are you, man? I'm great. Good day. Yeah, I just saw your profile again. Really wanted to talk to you, and I didn't know that you were in Canada. So when you sent me your number, I tried to put it in like the +91, and then I couldn't find it on WhatsApp, and then I got really confused. So yeah, how's life in Canada as an Indian?
Okay, so there are a lot of Indians here. I mean, more
Cool.
half the population is like Indians, Punjabis,
Hmm.
Gujaratis. So
Hmm.
it really depends on what kind of community you want to be a part of. But it's Canada in general is a really student-friendly place, and it's
Yeah.
really accepting. That's why there are like so many international students coming here. My sister just graduated from University of Toronto, so she came to Canada before me, and then I'm here just trying to follow her steps. But yeah, she's in computer science, I'm in business, so that's the only difference. But it's pretty good. Apart from the weather, maybe everything's pretty well.
Okay.
Yeah,
Uh, how has this year treated you? How are you feeling? Just what's
this
what's the
is
vibe of life right now?
really busy. Like I have so much on
Okay.
my plate. I've, I'm on a podcast with you right now, and then 1 o'clock I have another meeting, and then 2 o'clock I have my class, and then 5 o'clock I go gym. Then 7 o'clock I'm a part of a competitive dance team here, so I have to go practice for that.
Damn. Okay.
And then I have there's this thing called teacher's assistant in our like courses, TA. So I'm a TA for one of our introductory business courses, and I grade like assignments and stuff. So I have that due tomorrow. And then I have operation management homework due tomorrow. It's like just 2 days. There's so much. Imagine what my week looks like. So
Have you just gotten used to it? Have you gotten used to this stress, or like what's up with that? How's
yeah,
your mind taking it?
I don't get stressed. My full family has been it's like it's a group of hustlers, my family. My dad has been a hustler, my uncle has been a hustler, my mom has been a hustler, my sister has been a hustler. Like we all have been hustlers our whole life. So we don't that's why even like in my gym routine I told you I don't have rest days. Like what
Yeah,
is rest?
yeah.
Why do you need to rest, man? So
It's in the blood. It's in the blood.
exactly. So I don't get stressed. Yeah, definitely things get like a bit too much at times where I go like, damn, there's so much I have to do. How do I do it? But then the only solution to that is just keep your head down, focus, get things done one step at a time. That's it. That's the way to life.
So, do you like have relaxation tasks? Do you do things to just chill?
Yeah, I do meditation every day. I like in the morning when I wake up, I like go get ready and then I sit down, I meditate for a while. I do like my puja and stuff, like Hanuman Chalisa, those kind of things. I do all of those and then I start my day. And then I
Okay.
end my day at the gym. And my day in the sense and my like college day, like all my classes and stuff are over. Then I go gym. I go heavy in the gym every single day. So that releases a lot of like, those stress and that pressure that's being built up that releases everything. Then I come back and it depends on how my schedule looks like. If my schedule is really
Yeah.
packed, then I sit and work again. If it's not, then I call my family, I talk to them, and I call my brother back home in India. He's the one who I do my businesses with. And we just have a normal conversation. And I also make music. So sometimes I just sit and make music. So
What
yeah.
kind of music do you make?
So I'm more of like a lyricist. So I write. So
Okay.
and I'm
Okay.
good with like writing Hindi songs. And my
Okay.
roommate here, he's actually a producer. His name is Tony. He's from Nigeria. So I make music with him. Either I help him with his songs, or we just try to have like a jam session, and he just makes a beat, and I try to, yeah,
Okay. Um, the reason that I was really interested in talking to you was that you were someone who already had successful businesses in India, right? But when you graduated, you decided to pursue education and continue your life abroad. Honestly, I haven't come across a lot of people like that. And I just felt that it'd be a good conversation for today.
yeah,
So, my question here essentially is that when you already had successful ventures, what made you decide to continue it abroad? Was it just family? Was it family influence, or was it something that you decided on your own, or you felt there's better opportunities abroad?
Family definitely had its role to play because my parents always have believed in the fact that you need to have at least a bachelor's degree under your name to to show credibility in the world that you know what you're talking about. And I
Okay.
believe, like, I resonate with them a lot on that as well because the thing is, you see a lot of people who can say that, yeah, I built $1 billion business and I dropped out of school or dropped out of college. All that's good, but then how did you get there? And is that the business that you have, is that sustainable? Is that going to last 50 years? Because that's what they teach you in university. I get it. They don't like teach you how to start a business, but they teach you how to be an employee, right? And the thing is that a lot of people these days, they take that education in a very negative way. They think that, okay, I don't want to be an employee, so why do I learn how to be an employee? But how I see it as a founder, I see that if I learn how to be an employee, I'm going to choose the right employees for my company. And then as if I'm learning how to be an employee, I'm then going to see my business whenever I get stuck. I'm going to see it as, I'm going to try to look at my business with an employee perspective so that I can sustain it for like 50, 100, 200 years. That's where people go wrong. And that's why parents' influence was like one of the biggest factors. Second was my own like vision. I don't want to be, so my parents are in business as well. They have their real estate business in Bangalore. Uh, I don't want to be called that son who like became rich on his parents' money. I don't want to be called that. My parents have made it clear that they are not going to give me any money for starting my businesses and stuff. I have made it very clear that I don't want your money as well. I'm going to do everything on my own. And that just sets me apart from the crowd because I don't want to be just another millionaire or, billionaire. I want to be on the level as, or even bigger than Tata, Ambani, Adani, these kind of people. In the future, 5 years down the line, 10 years down the line, I want to have an empire. What one empire? I want to have two empires. That's how big my vision is. So if I have University of Alberta, Alberta School of Business kind of thing to back me up. So tomorrow when I have a conversation with anyone, or like I go for some interview or some podcast like this, right? And they're gonna see that okay, this guy's studying, he's putting his time into education and business and personal development. Why can't we do that? And if he's doing that and he's becoming a billionaire and having an empire, then there's definitely some misconception around education that we are, not getting it done. Yeah,
So you're saying that the universities and education still has credibility when you're in the outside world, when you're trying to network, when you're trying to build your empire,
exactly.
right?
Yeah. And the thing is, you get a lot of advantage being a student. Like, suppose if I want to network with some professional today, and if I'm not a student, if I'm a businessman, right, if I drop out of college, it's really tough for me to get hold of that person because that person is going to be like, why do I give this person my time? But then how it works, at least abroad, is that in general, it's not just Canada. In general, abroad, how it works is if you're a student and you reach out to someone in a company and be like, I want to have a coffee chat with you and I want to learn more from you, they're going to give you their time. They're going to, I'm
Okay.
not saying everyone's going to, but then if you reach
Yeah.
out to like 100 people, definitely a 50 people will reply. And definitely out of 50, 20 people are going to give you that coffee chat. So that's what it puts you in that position where you can leverage the fact that you're a student and make the most out of it. You just have to be smart about it. There's nothing, yeah, I get it, international student, a lot of money being spent on fees and stuff. But
Yeah.
if you're smart about it, then you can treat it as an investment instead of an expense.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
I know you touched upon this topic a little while ago, but I
Mhm.
just want you to sort of elaborate on it because I think it's really interesting and a lot of people need to know. As an entrepreneur, an aspiring entrepreneur, how would you view college life, school life, trying to pursue education? How would you like take that? How would you
Uh,
look at it? Like, how would you just build on that?
so the thing is, because I've been working on like ideas and startups and all, even before I came to college, a lot of
Hmm.
what I learned in college is just like it feels like I already know it, but then
Hmm.
it feels good that okay, I didn't learn anything wrong. Like all this
Okay.
while, I've learned the right things because they're teaching the same thing in college. The only difference is again, I've learned it from a founder perspective, they're teaching it from an employee perspective,
Correct.
right? And another thing is I'm good with public speaking. I have a lot of confidence. I can be myself in like a room full of professionals and still be probably the strongest person present in the room. And when I say strongest, I mean just like vibe and aura, not like financially or economically, any kind of those things, right? So that's only because, again, being a founder, being like someone who has run businesses or seen both the sides as a student and as a founder, I know what kind of words to use with which person and what to say in front of who. So that sets me apart from the other crowd, like on in the university that I see. There's a very like normal Western culture here that Fridays after classes are over, after everything's over, they all go out to clubs, they party, and they do their things.
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
Saturday the process repeats. Saturday night it's the same thing again. Then Sunday night they sober up for Monday classes again. That's the kind of culture that is there in North America, not just Canada. I am not a part of that culture. I don't party, I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't even take like like whey protein and stuff. So I'm like
Yeah.
completely clean, so I don't do any of that. My Saturdays are meetings, my Friday nights are meetings. So that's the thing that gives me a really different perspective. I Even if some of my ideas fail, I don't feel bad because I'm still 100 steps ahead of every single, like every other student in my university. There are 40,000 people here, and there are barely like 40 people doing what I'm doing. So now you can imagine that already puts me in the 1% of my category.
And do you
Yeah.
think that what you're doing, the Saturday meetings, gives you more satisfaction than the people who are actually going out and partying?
Yeah, definitely. Because those people partying, like, okay, I'm not saying don't have fun. I'm not saying don't enjoy, but then
Obviously. Yeah.
that's not my way of enjoying. So I don't support that. Even if
Okay.
I have not stepped into a club here till now. And even if I ever do go to a party, I'm not going to enjoy it. I'm just going to be like, what's happening here? They're just like jumping around. And
Yeah.
being a dancer, I know that's not dance, like, anyway. So what am I doing there, right? I don't drink, I don't
Yeah.
get high, I don't sleep
Yeah.
around, and I don't dance like that. So what am I doing? So I'll just probably walk out of there in like what max 10 to 15 minutes. Right. So this gives me these meetings and even these podcasts and all these give me the satisfaction because I know that I'm thinking and planning like 10 years, 20 years, 30 years into the future while they are not even conscious in their own present. Right.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. And I guess that you're working for the future version of you to be happy. And I've heard this very interesting quote. It says that if the future version of you would be happy at what you're doing now, then you're doing a great job.
something I would like to change over there. I don't work for my future self to be happy. I work for my present self, current self to be happier and the happiest. Because for me, there is no future, like there is no tomorrow. All I
Okay.
have is today. I'm like a big follower of Bhagavad Gita and like our culture, Krishna, and all these things. So all I believe is that all I have is this very moment today, right now. So it doesn't matter if I've got 4 hours of sleep or 8 hours of sleep. If I have a podcast with Mithil in the morning at 8 a.m., I'm going to be there because that's all I have. I can't be like, let's postpone it to next Monday. I'm too tired. What do you mean you're too tired? You're just 21 years old. Like, get up. My dad has worked harder than me than I can probably ever imagine. So how can I say that I'm too tired when I come from a background like that? So it's not to make my future self happy, it's to make me happier in my like present self. It's
Okay.
to make me it's to give me that satisfaction that I'm doing something with my life. Even if I fail tomorrow, I'm still going to be a winner because I gave my 100% every morning when I woke up.
You said you believe a lot in religion. Are you very religious?
Yeah, I definitely am. You see, like all
Do you,
these.
yeah. Do you mind if we talk a little bit about religion?
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
What are your biggest learnings from the Bhagavad Gita? Because I'm someone, and I'm sure there's a lot of people who want to get into reading the Bhagavad Gita and getting to know about our culture a lot, but they just don't seem to do it. And I can't seem to like get into it. So can you tell me the biggest learnings? Tell me your biggest like, yes, this is I'm so glad I learned this. Some of those things.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest one is the most common learning in Bhagavad Gita. It's that your results don't matter. It's what you do that matters. It's your karma. Your karma are your actions. and your dharma are your duties. So as long as you are doing what you're supposed to do, which is your dharma, and doing so, suppose for example in like Mahabharata, Lord Krishna was there in the war, but he didn't fight the war because that was not his karma, that was not his action to do. Because if he wanted to, in just a blink of an eye, he would have finished the whole war. But that's not his job. His job was to guide Arjun throughout the war and sit through the whole war. He was supposed to be there, watch all the people die, and still just stay there with Arjun and make sure that he doesn't deviate from his path. Whereas Arjun's karma was to fight the war and not think about who's dying, who's alive, just fight the war and win the war. So that's the biggest learning, that you are supposed you have to do what you're supposed to do. Because the moment you stop doing that and the moment you start worrying about the results, first of all, you're letting the fear overpower the positive energy that you have in yourself, right? The God's energy resides within all of us. But the moment we start fearing the unknown, or the moment we start getting like uncertain, oh, I don't know what's going to happen next, that's the exact moment where we are going to overpower, we are going to let overpower, our positive feelings
Okay.
through those like uncertainties and that fear. And that's something we should never do, because my dad gave me this example. When I was applying for colleges, I was really scared because in my 11th and 12th, because of COVID, I barely studied. I didn't have like good grades, and a huge career shift happened in my life. So I'll talk about that a bit later too. uh, because of that, I was really scared. What if I don't get into any good college? What if I have to stay back in India or something like that? It's also that sibling pressure that like Didi went to abroad and like I'll be stuck here in India. So, so those kind of things are piling up on me. My dad told me this really good thing. He said that when a farmer, because he has been a farmer when he was young, so he said when a farmer plants the seed in his farmlands, does if he starts worrying about how good the plantation is going to be, he's never going to be a good farmer. Because his job, all he can do, all that's there is like under his control, is the fact that he can plant the seeds, he can water the field, and he can make sure that animals stay a bit away from the field. That's all, right? Nothing else is under his control. So after that, even if the plants fail to grow or they're not that great quality, he has to move on and he has to focus on the next plantation. That's the job of a farmer. Because maybe there's a storm that takes all the seed away. Maybe there's
Yeah.
like a lot of animals you can't stop. What are you going to do then? So instead of worrying about the results, focus on what you can do. Then you become solution oriented instead of problem oriented. So that's one of the
Okay.
biggest learnings that I've learned. And the second one would be the whole thing that I told you, like all you have is right now. And everything, a lot of people think that's like, suppose if I become a billionaire today, a lot of people are going to mistake it and they're going to be like, I became a billionaire. But then the truth is, nothing happened without his consent. Nothing happened without his own decision making. Like, you were doing what you wanted to do, but then it's because you were doing the right things that he supported you and you are where you are today. So it's like a smart person knows that it's God's will and not your will. So there's something that God says. He says that um, if you're gonna do what you're gonna want to do, but what will happen is what I want to happen.
Okay.
So as long as you do what I want you to do, then everything that you want will happen,
Makes
right? So
sense.
that
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
just basically means do your dharma, do what's right. Never step foot into what's wrong. That's why I don't go clubbing, I don't drink, I don't smoke any of those things, because I want to be that guy like who's known for like doing the right things every single
Doing the
day.
right things.
Exactly. Yeah. As long as I'm doing that, I'm the happiest person in life. Yeah.
Do you believe in legacy?
Yeah. Definitely.
What
Like
does legacy mean for you?
legacy is, think of it like leaving a mark behind, leaving like an impression behind. Be it, so think of even on like smaller scales, like fossils, they are legacy as well. They have been just stored in our rocks and our soil. They are legacies as well because they have left a mark there. That's just to explain it on like a very
Yeah.
terminological level.
Yeah.
But on like a
Yeah.
philosophical level, think of our Sir Ratan Tata who just passed away, right? He left a legacy behind. He is known for his donations. He's known for his goodwill
Yeah.
in the
Yeah.
community. So I'm not saying everyone has to build a legacy. I'm not saying everyone has to aim for this billionaire empire mindset, but make sure you leave an impact at least for some people in your life. Make sure you are a legacy for some people in your life. Make sure that whoever you meet them with a smile on your face. You treat them respectfully. You talk to them nicely because, first of all, everyone deserves that. And second, try to do that so that they remember you forever. I have people in my life who look up to me as inspiration where I haven't even done anything for them. It's not like I've given them money. It's not like I've given them like a house or something. Nothing like that. I've just been there for them and they look up to me as an inspiration. That's what leaving a legacy for me is. Money and all of those things are secondary. I don't want to, that's not my focus because I'm so convinced that I'm going to earn a lot of money that it doesn't even matter to me. Like I know 5 years down the line, I will be like a very big person. And like all the people who know me today will be like, oh damn, yeah, I knew this guy, he was my friend. That's how convinced I am that I'm gonna earn like billions of dollars and like I'll be one of the biggest guy just 5 to 10 years down the line. So that's not even my concern. My concern is what am I doing to my people around me? Am I helping them? Am I leaving a positive impact? When I talk to them, am I making sure that they have a smile on their face? If I'm doing that with every single person I meet, that's it.
And the fact that you just said all this, I think just the mindset of yours already puts you in the top 1% of all the people of our generation.
Yeah.
You spoke about dharma, about doing the right thing, right?
Mhm.
Do you personally feel that whatever you're doing right now, currently in 2024 today, is the right thing? Like, do you feel that yes, I am doing and I am on the way, or do you still feel a sense of I should be doing more, or maybe I am not fulfilling my potential? Do those thoughts ever creep into your mind?
Yeah, definitely. Because at the end of the day, I'm a human being as well. When I take inspiration from Arjun a lot, because when Arjun can be such a great warrior and he can forget what he's supposed to do and he can just get scared. At the end of the day, I'm a human being who's just studying right now. I don't have warrior like I'm not a warrior like him. I don't have any like I do have fighting skills, but I'm not like a great archer like him or anything like that, right? So if he can go through that, I can go through that too. And that's what Gita is trying to explain that it's not wrong that you're having those feelings. It's wrong that you're not doing anything about those feelings, right? So I feel I get lazy too. I procrastinate too. I'm a human being. Anyone who tells you that they don't procrastinate or they don't feel lazy at times, they are lying to you. Every single person does. It's just that what you do about it that matters. So yeah, I do have those feelings that like maybe I'm still not doing exactly what is right. Maybe I'm still not working up to my potential. But then again, it's all about gathering your thoughts back and being like, it's okay. Let's not get way too ahead of ourselves. What do I have in front of me right now? Let's focus on that. That's why if anyone wants to be successful, the first thing they should do is when they wake up in the morning, start making your bed. Even right now, I've made my bed like completely, like all the that's what my dad taught me because that's the first thing that's there in front of you, which is not fixed. So if you start fixing the first thing that you see in the morning, that's how the chain of being successful starts. Because
Okay.
then when you see your bed, it's all made. You're not gonna want to lie down on like on the bed again, right? Because you're gonna be like, I just made it. Why do I want to spoil
Yeah.
it? So that's the
Yeah.
first mindset that gets, and then later on when that becomes a habit, then you start repeating the same habit for other things in your life as well. If you see your room dirty, you're gonna fix it, and once you fix it, you're not gonna make it dirty again, at least not for a while, right? And then if you see a problem, you're going to fix it. Once you fix the problem, you're not going to make the problem again. Just like that. So that's the starting, that's the stepping stone. That's the first step. Make your bed when you wake up in the morning. And once you start that, don't stop it. Every single day, even if you're not making a lot of progress as a businessman, as a student, it's okay. Make sure you're still making your bed every single morning and be patient. One day it's going to compound and it's going to give you the returns.
It's going to compound. Exactly.
Yeah.
I really believe in that, the compounding effect. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, You spoke a lot about making your bed, and how you sort of are at it 24/7. Do
Yeah.
you know David Goggins?
Yeah.
I feel like you have a little bit of personality resemblance, you and him. You may not be as aggressive as him, but I still feel like deep down you and him share similar. I see some sort of similarity. So yeah, man. Can you tell me a little bit about your businesses? Uh, uh, you have two, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, I'm working on the third one right now. I mean, the
Okay.
one of them, Sarthi, is not exactly a business. It's like a social welfare organization. So,
Okay.
as I said, what I'm doing for the people around me. So that's not money focused at all. That's just solely focused on helping people. Till now, we have helped around 3,000 people all over the globe, and all of that was without me spending like any money on this business at all. Not the social media, nothing. Like no money spent on the 3,000 people that we have that we have helped as well. Because our sole focus, the whole meaning of Sarthi, before the name was comrades, because a comrade is someone who is like your friend in your war, or who's
Okay.
like your partner
Okay.
in a war. It's, I know it's like today they see it as a very communist or a Russian term, but then it typically means a friend or like a supporter in your journey, right? That's why in Russia they call their, like the soldiers, they call their friends comrades, right? Because
Okay.
that's the real
Yeah.
meaning. But yeah, because of communism and stuff, it became like the word became really negative. So that's why
Yeah.
my dad suggested that change the name, maybe have the same meaning but change the word, because you may have like a different perspective of it, but then the general population knows it as something else. So don't try to confuse them.
What is your business? What is your social welfare organization do?
So the name Sarthi is comes from Mahabharata again. It's what Krishna was to Arjun. Krishna was Arjun's Sarthi. That basically means charioteer. So he was not fighting the war with Arjun, but he
Yeah.
was there with Arjun throughout the war, and he was guiding the chariot throughout the war. So our role in like people's life is the same. We are not going to fight your wars for you. So if you have like financial problems, we're not going to give you money. We're not going to give
Mm,
you sources of money or anything like that. But we are
mm.
going to be there with you while you struggle through that phase. So that if you fall down, we'll be there to pick you up. Exactly what Krishna did to Arjun. When Arjun was all fallen down and he was like, I can't fight this war, Krishna was there to pick him up and show him the right direction, that you have to fight this war. And
Okay.
that's our main focus. Apart from that, we also give them guidance. Like, suppose a lot of people, when they're that low in life, they tend to take the wrong path. They tend to go into the path of intoxication and whatnot, just so that they don't feel the pain anymore. And it's completely valid. I understand where they're coming from. But it's my job to show them the right path, because I have been through low phases in my life as well, but never once in my life have I touched those things. And never am I even going to. And I know how that has benefited me as a person and benefited my success as well. So it's important that I show them the right path. I tell them what is right, what is wrong. But again, I need to make sure that I keep telling myself that what they decide is not on me. Like, I can show them what's right, what to do, how to do it. I can be that guy, that Krishna in their life. But if they still decide to not do what I'm telling them and still decide to walk on the wrong path, that's not under my control. And that
Okay.
this was something I learned later on in life, because initially when I started this at when I was in my 12th grade. So when I
Interesting.
started this, I was like really into it. I was really affected by every single person that I helped. So I was really invested in what they are doing, how they are doing it, whether they are doing it or not. And then later on, my parents started seeing the effects on it on me. They started seeing me getting all stressed, all worked up. Then my dad has been like the my dad has been my sarthi throughout this whole thing. So he gave me this one really good learning. He said that you are trying to be the doctor of the society, right? Then I didn't understand that. I was like, what do you mean? He said a doctor helps patients. He fixes them up and these kind of things. So you're trying to be a doctor of the society. I was like, yeah, if you see it that way. So he
Yeah.
said, if have you ever seen a doctor give his own blood to the patients? Or have you ever seen a doctor like yeah, just like give his own blood or give his own organs to the patients. And I said, no, that never happens. Then he asked me why. Said, I've never thought about it. I don't know. He said, it's because if he starts giving his blood or his organs, who is gonna then and like who's gonna then fix the patients? Who's gonna help the patients? Because then he'll be on the bed as well. But the
Yeah,
patients need
yeah,
a doctor. So that's why
yeah,
no matter how serious the situation is, even if the patient needs like O positive blood and the doctor is O positive, and it's in a very critical situation, he's not going to give his blood because he knows that he has to be there when the blood arrives to help him, help the patient get the blood. So
yeah,
you have to
yeah,
remember that like when you're trying to help people, you can't give yourself away in that process. You can't let that thing hurt you. You can't let that thing bleed you out. Because the moment you're doing that, you're not a doctor anymore. You're just another patient who needs help from another doctor.
yeah,
So I
yeah.
was like, damn, that actually makes sense. And then I realized where I was going wrong. So I then started limiting myself. It's in limiting in the sense it's not like I don't help people, but I know where to put that boundary. Like if they don't listen to me, I just be like, fine, that's your wish. My job is done. My job was to tell you what to do, how to do it. That's it. Rest is up to you. Yeah.
So essentially, is it like a mental health services platform?
I mean, if you speak of it like in modern terms, yeah, it is. But
Okay.
ours is not just like we are not there to just help you feel better or like we're not there to validate what you're feeling or anything like that. We are there to help you get out of that situation. Like if I've when I was in like 12th grade, I didn't know anything about businesses and stuff, but I had people coming to me which they had problems nothing related to mental health. They had problems like I want to start a business, help me out, and they were in some different country. I remember this one guy was in Germany. I didn't know anything about German laws and anything about German business laws, but I did my research and I told him what is the next step he has to take. So it's like that. Like if you're stuck in a problem and you come to us, we're gonna help you. We're not gonna give you the solution, but we're gonna give you the right direction so that you find the solution yourself. It's like that. So it's more of a guidance platform rather than a mental health. But yeah, you can still see it that way, as I said speaking in modern terms.
Cool. So where do you get these mentors from?
Oh, till now it's basically been me and my brother doing it. Like
Okay.
we had like a team of 12 members back when I started it, because then we were treating it like a real organization and all these things. Like, it was that craze that, oh, it's our first entrepreneurial step that we took
Yeah.
in life, right? So
Yeah.
we made a team and stuff for social media and all that. But then the helping was mainly done by my brother and I. Now, for the future stages, we have our plans where we are going to get the psychiatrists and like the psychology students in universities to become interns in our organization. And they will be the first point of contact with these people who need help, because
Hmm.
later on, I want to have it like a proper procedure. I just don't want to make it very informal. I want to make it like a system and like a proper organization type where the people who need help, they first come to my psychology interns, they talk to them. My psychology interns do like an evaluation report on those people. Those reports come to me and my brother or any other mentors that we have, and based on that we give them like personalized solutions or reports or like anything, like whatever is there in our head, we'll tell them, okay, talk to this person like this or give them this solution or things like that. So that's how we are going to do it later on. Right now, because there's already so much on my plate, we are doing Sarthi on like the background. We are not keeping it in the forefront anymore.
Okay.
That's only for now because, again, as I said, we have a lot on our plate and I don't want to overwhelm myself or do something that's going to negatively affect Sarthi in any way. So, yeah,
So a lot on your plate because you have another business which is called Match Matters, if I'm not wrong.
yeah.
What is that about?
It's an events platform where so it's think of like a dating app, but for events where,
Okay.
to better explain it, it's like you can find the events that are right for you on the platform, but that's not all it is. Once you have found the event that you want to go for, and events are not just like professional events, they can even be parties, house parties, all of those things. But
Okay.
then once
So
you have found that,
it's not just like workshops and
no, it's like
stuff.
It's events, like whatever comes to your mind when you say the word events, it's gonna be
Okay.
there. Yeah. And
Okay.
then once you go to that event where you wanna go, you can also find the people that are present in the event. So we want to make
Mm.
networking easier. So think of it
Okay.
like, if I go to a networking event
Yeah.
and I see you over there, right? You're there talking to a few people, but I don't know who you are. Maybe I'm a bit shy to approach you, or just like anything, right? I don't want to physically go and approach you. Maybe that's just how I am. So I can go on the app and I can see who are the people present in that particular event with me. And the moment I see your profile, there'll be this button called hit me up. I can click on that and it's going to send you an automated message that like, hey, I want to talk to you, we are present at the same event, would you like having a 2 minute conversation with me? So we're kind of acting like the icebreaker between the two people, right? And then the moment you receive that message, maybe you guys can then coordinate with each other. Okay, where are you? Let's meet up, let's go to the food counter and let's have a conversation. So that's our main USP as of phase one. Phase two and three, I'm not still not at the liberty to discuss those because, you know,
Cool.
yeah.
Cool. No problem. No problem. Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah,
So that's what's keeping you busy at the moment.
yeah, and there's also Brad Partners that's keeping
What
me busy.
was what's Brad Partners about?
Brad Partners is a consulting firm, the business consulting firm that I'm trying to build.
Okay.
As of now, I'm just acting like an independent consultant for my clients. But the moment I finish my degree, I will set this up as a proper corporation and I will be having like proper clients with like signed agreements and those kind of things. So, Brad Partners is my way of giving back to the business world based on everything that I've learned till now and the things that I will be learning in the future as well. So,
Okay.
my aim with that is not to. So, do you know the big four, the consulting
Yeah.
firms? Yeah.
Yeah.
So my aim is not to be the big four. My aim is to be the biggest one. So that I'm going to surpass
Cool.
all of them. And it's not going to take too long. Mark my words, 5 to 7 years down the line, it'll be the biggest one. So yeah, that's my goal with that. That's that's pretty much since, and it's also that like Canadian laws are a bit different. And since I'm a student here, I'm on a study permit. I can't really actually start a corporation here because I want to set it up as a company internationally. I don't want to set it up as a company in India. I have my reasons for that. And
Okay.
it's nothing against India. It's just like a long term plan. That's it. Uh, so if I want to set up a corporation here or any sort of company here, I need to get a work permit. So again, as I
Cool.
said, there's like a lot of like complications here and there. So I'm
Yeah.
just trying to ease it out, take it slow for a while. I also have to on-campus jobs. So like as you can tell, there's so many things that I'm just trying to take it one step at a time. So Brad Partners is a long-term game. You're not going to see it like very heavily into the picture anytime until like the next at least 2 years. It'll be there, like you'll see it on my LinkedIn and these kind of things just here and there, but it won't be like heavily marketed or branded in any way because I don't want it to. So yeah.
Uh, what do you help these clients with? Just business problems?
So we are experts at strategy and growth consulting. So we
Okay.
help you formulate the right strategies for your business, and we also specialize in how to grow a company from this level to this level, like from one particular level to 10x, 50x, 100x. So we have the formulas for that. So we help our clients with those strategies. We give them those strategies, and then they go boom.
Where do you find clients?
Very like typical lead generation methods like LinkedIn and like your Instagram, even tools like Apollo.io. There are a lot of clients over there. That's the basic lead generation method. But our focus with Brad Partners, as the name says, is to create partnerships. So
Yeah.
in the long term, in the long run, we'll be finding clients in person, like through networking events. So that's my vision. Like right now, being like a independent consultant, I have to take the traditional ways. I have to go the normal route and look for clients on like online. But slowly, once I start having the credibility, once I start having like enough, you know, just contacts in the industry to get invited to these like exclusive events, that's when I'm going to go there, and that's where I'll be closing major of my clients. And I want to create that like kind of aesthetic or vibe around my company, Brad Partners, that clients want Brad Partners as their consultants, not Brad Partners wants clients. Think of it
So
like
yeah,
that.
so so outbound, yeah, yeah,
Exactly. So we want that scarcity to be there, that we want to have clients, but we want to have big names. We want to have the biggest names in the world, so that if, like, for example, if there's person A sitting in Italy who has like a really big company, even though it's really big, he should be like, damn, how do I like get Brad Partners to be my consultant? Like, I want that person to have that feeling, not us to have that feeling. Damn, how do I land this person as a client?
yeah. Yeah, I guess that'll come with success, right? With
Yeah,
uh, successful partnerships, word of mouth,
exactly,
goodwill, all that. Yeah.
exactly.
So I mean, it's something that's in it for you in the long run.
Yeah.
I was speaking to like a guest last week, and he said that the feeling of business is gives you butterflies in your stomach, like the butterflies in your stomach that you get while you're talking to your crush. Uh, what are your thoughts on that? Do you agree?
Okay. I'm very old school when it comes to like crushes and love and all those things. So for me, like, once I like a person, I like that person, and then that person doesn't give me butterflies. Like, it's never about getting butterflies from the person. It's about getting peace from the person. That, like, when I see that person or when I talk to that person, I'm at peace.
Yeah.
Right. So that's the same kind of feeling business gives me as well. It's that it's not butterflies, because biologically speaking, again, I was a science student in high school, by the way. So
Okay. Okay.
biologically
So then maybe
speaking,
this isn't this isn't a good question to be asked.
no, that's okay. It's completely all right. Biologically speaking, butterflies, you when you say I get butterflies in my stomach, it basically means it's like stressing you out. It's creating that like kind of not exactly panic, but kind of like frustrated feeling in you. And
Hmm.
if that's the case, and it usually happens because when you see your crush, it's just that release of hormones that makes you all agitated, that oh shit, I don't know what to do. What do I say? What do I look at her? Do I not look at her? It's that kind of a feeling. That feeling is nothing
Yeah.
wrong, but then it's just that it depends on what kind of context you put in. So yeah, a lot of people get butterflies in their stomach because it's that exciting feeling, that so much money, so many clients, fame. For me, it's a very peaceful feeling because I already told you, I know I'm going to get money, I know I'm going to get fame, I know I'm going to be the biggest guy in the world. What am I going to do after that? It's about that for me. Like, I'm way into the future compared to everyone else. Everyone else is thinking about how do I make $1 billion. I'm thinking about I'm going to make $1 trillion. What do I do that actually going to make a difference? So yeah.
Okay. uh, I just love the way you express yourself and the mindset that you have. I think it's different. Even amongst the top 1%, I don't think many people think the way you do. Uh,
Thank you, man.
yeah. Uh, how do your friends around you treat you with the mindset that you have? Do they resonate with you, or have you surrounded yourself with just very good people that you don't need to think about anyone else?
So I have a lot of friends. I have a very few good friends and have very, very few brothers. And among those very few brothers, there's only one brother who I do business with. So you see how I keep
Okay.
narrowing my circle down, because trust is a really good thing. There's I don't know, do you know Ranveer Labadia?
Of course, yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
in one of his podcasts, there was this guest, I forgot his name. He said they were talking about how to look for the right co-founder, and
Yeah,
he
yeah,
said a
yeah.
very good thing. He said that if you can spend 24 hours of your day with that person, if you can trust that person blindly, and if you can leave money with your person, and you know be sure that that money is safe with that person, then you have found your potential co-founder. Like, it's not necessary that he's still perfect, but you can keep him as a good candidate of a co-founder. So
Yeah.
though, if now imagine spending 24 hours with any person, you can't, in today's world, you can't even spend 24 hours with like your partner, like your girlfriend or your
Yeah.
boyfriend, right? It becomes
Yeah.
tough. So
Yeah.
imagine spending 24 hours with like a co-founder. I can do that with that brother of mine. His name is Archishman. Maybe you can get him on a podcast as well. So
Done. Done.
yeah, so his name is Archishman, and he's in Bangalore right now. So it'll be easier for you to like coordinate with him. So that I see that in him. Like I can have endless conversations with him about business. We can never get tired. And we think on the same level. Like if I'm thinking of a particular idea, he's thinking about it too. It's just that we might be looking at it from different perspectives. And that makes a really solid plan. That makes a really solid business idea. So that's that. When it comes to like other friends and my just group, it's not all of them are on this level. Actually, very few are on this level, but I don't mind that because at the end of the day, I keep friendship different from like business because I don't look for friends. I don't like look for connections with people on like a personal level. Professional, definitely I do. Personal level, I
Yeah.
don't look for it. It just comes to me. Like my roommates who I'm living with, one of them is from Nigeria, one of them is Canadian, and our fourth roommate, he's like a random person that got assigned to us. He's also from Africa. So you see how I'm not living with any Indian over here. It's
Yeah.
not that like I have anything against them. It's just that in my first year, these people became my friends, and they have been my friends like since then. I didn't have to do anything. They didn't have to do anything in like specific to become my friend. So when it comes to friends, I keep it very normal, very casual. I don't like to have that boundary that, oh, I'm like a businessman. I have such great mentality. Why do I spend time with these people? They're people, man. Like spend time with them, have fun. As I said, what are you doing to your people around you? Meet and talk to
Ex-
them nicely, right? Stay positive with everyone. And whoever gives you back that energy, be friends with that person. Again, you can be nice to everyone and you can still be friends with a few.
Yeah.
So that's what
Yeah.
I do. I'll be nice to everyone. I'm positive with everyone. I talk to everyone as if I'm their friend. But then if they're not giving me back the same energy, I don't mind it. I move on. I go to the next person. If they give me back the same energy, that's it. We are good friends. We are gonna be there for each other. And then when it comes to like about business and stuff, then I do my evaluations because that's on a professional level. Like I need
Correct.
to make sure you're the right person for my business, even if you're an employee of my business.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah.
Can we talk a little bit about the student perspective?
Mhm.
You're someone who moved after 12th, right? If I'm not wrong.
Yeah. Yeah.
What are some things that students have to keep in mind when they're moving abroad? Or just give me some tips of just what would you say to someone who is in 11th or 12th right now is planning to move abroad? What would you say to him or her?
Most important thing is you should know that you're going to a place and it doesn't matter where you're going. Like you have to understand that every single place in this world has Western influence. Even if you're going far east, even if you're going Singapore from India, it still has Western influence, right? It has its own Singapore culture, but there are also students coming from America, Canada to study there. So it does have Western influence. So you need to understand Western culture and then accept the fact that there's Western culture influence every single place, wherever you go, right? So now you need to keep in mind that there are good aspects and there are bad aspects of all cultures, not just Western culture. But because Western culture is like so influential that every single country or city has it, now you need to be
Yeah.
more careful of the Western culture. What are the good things that you're taking in? What are the bad things you're taking in? For example, one really good aspect of Western culture is they're just very like clear on their work timings and personal timings. 9 to 5 is 9 to 5. It's not 9 to 6. It's not 9 to 7. Right, 9 to 5 is 9 to 5. 5 o'clock they go back home. They spend time with their family. That's one really good thing about Western culture. There's also bad things about Western culture, like any culture that, as I said, like Friday, Saturday is all about going out, getting drunk, sleeping around, those kind of things. So you need to choose what kind of like culture or like what aspects of the culture you want to adapt to. You're gonna meet with tens of thousands of different people. You need to make sure that you know in your head what is right, what is wrong. Because I've seen a lot of students from India who like came here and they had to go back to India because they didn't do that great. You don't want to be a
Okay.
part of that population,
Do that great in
obviously.
terms of what?
Hmm?
Do that great in terms of what?
Academics, life in general. Like I'm not going to take any names definitely, but like there's this one person I know. She started dating a drug dealer, and it was a point like there was a point where her parents stopped sending money to her, Like you, if you're an international student, your parents are going to send you money, obviously. Her parents stopped sending money to her apart from the tuition fees, and she had to do like these jobs, like low, part-time jobs to make like just a good living for herself. So why do you want to take that kind of a stress when you're in university? All your parents ask you when you're coming to university is study well. That's it. That's all they ask for you, right? Is to make the most of the thousands of dollars that they're spending, right? That's the least you can do. Not for them, but like for yourself as well, for the money that's being spent. That's if that's all they, it's not like they're asking you to be a billionaire while you're in college. It's not like they're asking you to be
Yeah.
like some sports champion. Yeah, some parents might do, but for international student, the basic thing for parents is, and for everyone is, just study well, just get that degree, get good grades, and be okay. Like take care of yourself. That's all that matters, right? So if you're doing that, then don't get into other things. That's why till now in my third year, 3 years here, I haven't been in like any of the. I haven't been in that circle. I've been in more of professional circles. There
Yeah.
was Garba night happening yesterday. I was sitting in my room and doing meetings. It's not like there's anything wrong about Garba nights. It's just that, again, first of all, it's not the same feeling as India, like, Diwali and those kind of things.
Okay. Okay.
Second, it's like, it's fine. I can miss a few Garba nights. It's okay to be a bit focused on yourself and what you're doing. So that is one of the most important things I need to keep in mind. And second, choosing the right people. That you'll meet tens of thousands of people. You need to choose your crowd. You need to choose who you want to be with, who you want to surround yourself with, because as the famous saying goes, you are like a sum of, or like an average
Some
of
of
the five people you spend your time with. So choose those five people. Who do you want it to be? Do you want it to be people who waste their time? Then you will end up becoming a person who's going to waste their time. It's as simple as that. So I'm not saying you have to choose your circle of like successful people. Choose your circle of smart people. Choose your circle of people who know the difference between right and wrong. Like people who are ethical, people who are not going to do anything wrong to someone. That's it. If you're doing that, you're not going to get into the wrong hands or the wrong habits. As simple as that. So it's nothing very serious that I'm trying to say. It's all fundamentals, but that's the problem with our generation. The fundamentals aren't clear anymore. So it's important that I put it out there.
okay.
Yeah.
Um, what else? Is there anything that people don't talk about, but you feel that after you've come to Canada and spent 3 years, you feel like, yeah, this is something that needs to be told to people who are going abroad?
The whole misconception around the fact that your life is going to be much better if you move to Canada or America is not entirely wrong, but it's not the right mindset to have.
Okay.
Because the thing is, it's not the place where you're in, like where you're planted. Like you can still grow no matter where you're planted. It depends on how strong of a seed you are yourself, right? If you're like a weak seed that needs a lot of nurturing and stuff, then if you're put in like a hard soil, you can't grow there. But if you're a strong seed that knows how to grow in any condition, you're gonna grow no matter which kind of alluvial soil or black soil they put you in, right? So that's the thing. It's not that Canada aunga to like life will get like so much better and those kind of things. It's not that. Like your life can go really bad as well. You can get involved with junkies and whatnot. There are a lot of homeless people here in Canada, and if you get involved with them, you're like done for life. There's no stopping you from going down there. So again, it's not that your life will get better. Definitely, you get the opportunity to make your life better for sure, but it's not like a guarantee that I'm going to go to Canada and can earn in dollars. The job market in Canada is really bad. The economic situation of Canada is really bad. The political situation of Canada is really bad. So I'm not trying to like throw shade on Canada. It's just the truth. Like it's bad. It's bad. I can't help it. So don't think that moving out of India will help you or coming back to India will not help you. Those kind of things. You should be aware of what's happening and then make your decisions accordingly. There's nothing like a good or bad place. It's just how you look at that place. As simple as that.
Okay.
Yeah,
Sid, how are you feeling? How has this podcast been for you?
pretty good. It's a very like unhinged conversation. There are a
Yeah.
lot of things
Yeah.
like the things like I said about Canada and stuff. I usually wouldn't say it, but it's fine. It's a friendly, casual conversation. So and it's all the truth. It's not like I'm making anything
Yeah.
up. So Yeah, I like it.
Mm.
Yeah, you have good questions, so I like that too.
Thank you. I feel like 55 minutes with you just went just with a snap of a finger.
Yeah,
There's so much more for us to uncover, to discover. Um, Again, as I said, I think that your mentality, what you some things that you said to me, I think makes you different from even the 1% that I look up to, or that I talk about. So yeah, man, just keep that going. Thank you so much
that
for
means a
taking your
lot.
time. I'll definitely be sort of looking at what you'd be doing in the future. I'll see you at the
For sure.
top. What they say.
Yeah, definitely. I'll be seeing you there with me, bro. Don't worry. You're gonna be there
For
too.
sure, for sure,
Don't
for
think too
sure.
low of yourself.
Yeah. Um, you know, I don't think this is the last time we'll be talking. I'd
Oh
love
yeah,
to
for
have
sure.
you again, maybe after some time, maybe after a good time jump, to see what progress both of us have made. Um,
Definitely.
so yeah, just thank you so much. How was today? How was the 1 hour?
Really good. It didn't even feel like 1 hour. It felt like
Yeah,
I'm just talking to a friend who I've known for a long time, but we haven't caught up in a while. It just felt like that. It just felt like a really good conversation with an old friend.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. Thank you so much, bro. Take care.
no worries, man. You take care too. And let me know. Reach out to me if there's anything. No problem.